When McLaren and Daniel Ricciardo decided to part ways despite the Australian having a year left on his contract, it left many wondering about the future of the talented driver in Formula One. However, it appears that Ricciardo's passion and determination to make a comeback are stronger than ever. So what are the realistic chances of Ricciardo returning to the Formula One grid? And which team could he potentially join? Let's find out. Ricciardo, known affectionately as the Honey Badger, established his racing prowess during his time with Red Bull Racing, where he secured 7 of his 8 victories, 3 pole positions, and an impressive 29 podium appearances. Ricciardo was undeniably a force to be reckoned with. However, in a shocking twist, he made the audacious decision to part ways with Red Bull at the end of a tumultuous 2018 season. Choosing to join the then re-emerging Renault team, Ricciardo sacrificed potential race wins for the opportunity to become a cornerstone in the French squad's ambitious rebuild. Unfortunately, Renault's progress hit a roadblock, and Ricciardo found himself in a difficult situation. But alas, 2 tough years followed, with only a surprise win at Monza in 2021 providing a momentary glimmer of hope amidst a string of disappointing results. At this point, it seemed like Ricciardo's love for the sport was fading. The pressures of racing had taken their toll, and even his belief in himself was shaken. So he decided to take a step back and re-evaluate his situation. Instead of jumping into talks with lower-ranked teams like Williams or Haas, he struck a deal with his former team, Red Bull, to become their 3rd driver. It turned out to be the perfect role for him. Ricciardo is still connected to the world of Formula One, while also taking some much-needed time to recharge. He has ample time to hone his skills in the simulator, allowing him the chance to remind everyone, including himself, of his abilities and his burning desire to stand on the top step of the podium once again. 6 months after joining Red Bull as a reserve driver, Ricciardo's love for Formula One has come flooding back. The excitement and thrill of being part of the action are all rekindled within him. He wants to race, he wants to win, and most importantly, he believes he can win. But where can he go? Rumour has it that a race seat at AlphaTauri for the upcoming season is a genuine possibility. Both Red Bull and Ricciardo are open to this move, despite the challenges it may bring. AlphaTauri currently sits at the bottom of the Constructors' Championship with a slower car compared to the frontrunners, racing against formidable competitors like Yuki Tsunoda or potentially facing off against rising talents like Nick De Vries, Liam Lawson, or Ayumu Iwasa won't be a walk in the park. But if Ricciardo can secure that seat, it will show the world that he's got his groove back, ready to conquer the challenges and prove he deserves another shot at Red Bull Racing. However, deep down, Ricciardo's heart longs for a return to the F1 grid as a Red Bull driver, a team where he achieved so much success. While the chances might be slim, he hasn't given up hope. In fact, during the recent Canadian Grand Prix, he finally voiced his desire to secure a seat in Red Bull publicly. Ricciardo stated, "This, for me, would be like a fairy tale. Honestly, the fairy tale ending would be to finish my career here. If I could have it all my own way, but we'll see. I'll probably have to work my way up a little bit, but it's really nice to be back here." Ricciardo went on to say that he has flushed out the previous 2 seasons from his system and that he is ready to go again. There are reports that the Australian could replace Sergio Perez. Perez's recent performance have left much to be desired. Despite driving the same formidable car as his teammate Max Verstappen, Perez has failed to reach the podium in the last 3 races. It's been a surprising turn of events, especially considering his pole position in Miami and his bold declaration of being a genuine title contender. Unfortunately, since that impressive showing, Perez has encountered a string of disappointing outings. Between the Miami and Canadian Grand Prix, he's been outscored by Verstappen, Fernando Alonso, and Lewis Hamilton. Alonso is only 9 points behind him in the Drivers' Championship, with Hamilton 15 points further back. It's an incredibly poor return for the machinery. Perez has explained away the underperformance as being the result of a disparate set of factors, some of which was circumstance and bad luck. That's true to an extent, but it's also true to say he's been way off Verstappen's pace for the last 2 months. Although Perez played a crucial role in Verstappen securing his maiden driver's title in Abu Dhabi 2021, and contributed to Red Bull clinching the Constructors' crown last year, his recent struggles have raised questions. Last year, the Mexican driver signed a new 2-year deal, seemingly secured his place until the end of 2024. However, in Formula One, contracts can be broken if performance falls short. Red Bull is a team that prioritizes performance above all else, and their history demonstrates that they are not afraid to make changes when necessary. Perez's lukewarm relationship with Team Verstappen certainly doesn't help his case. The awkward situation in Brazil, where Verstappen refused to yield position as a form of revenge, showcased the underlying tension within the team. Red Bull can live with that as long as Perez is chipping in with enough points to secure secure the Constructors' crown each year, and given their massive speed advantage, that will not be an issue this season. But history tells us the Milton Keynes team are not one to carry drivers for long. When it comes to Red Bull and their second drivers, history has shown us that they can be ruthless. Just ask Daniel Ricciardo, Pierre Gasly, or Alex Albon. If Perez doesn't find his groove quickly, he could find himself in a precarious position within the team. And one man that is hoping that happens is Daniel Ricciardo. Second chances are rare in Formula One, and Daniel Ricciardo needs several different elements to align in his favour if he's to have any hope of returning to the grid in a competitive car. Recent comments from Red Bull Motorsport advisor Helmut Marko have sparked speculation about Ricciardo's future and the potential uncertainty surrounding Sergio Perez's position in the team. Marko's statements have brought attention to a planned test for Ricciardo next month, indicating that the team is evaluating his performance and considering him as a contender for a full-time drive. Speaking to Austrian broadcaster ORF, Marko stated, "We will have Ricciardo in the car for 3 days after Silverstone during the tyre test, and then you can evaluate where Ricciardo really stands." Let's break it down. These statements from Marko revealed two critical things. First off, Red Bull is seriously considering Ricciardo as a contender for a full-time drive, even if they haven't been shouting it from the rooftops. And secondly, Perez might not have as much time left in the top seat as we initially thought, despite his strong start to the season. Talk about the tables turning. The fate of Ricciardo's return lies in his own hands. It all comes down to how he feels and what he delivers during the upcoming Pirelli tyre tests after the British and Italian Grand Prix in July and September respectively. If he can show Red Bull that he's operating at the same high level as when he raced with them, well, let's just say it makes a compelling case for a return to a race seat. And you know what they say, actions speak louder than words. In the meantime, Ricciardo is living his best life outside the confines of being a full-time racing driver. He's channeling his energy towards doing an exceptional job for Red Bull, whether it's working at the factory, giving it his all in the simulator, or fulfilling his appearance commitments. It's a well-rounded approach that has proven successful for other drivers, like Alex Albon and Nick de Vries, who made their mark after taking a step back. Now, we can't say for certain what lies ahead for Ricciardo, but with each passing day, his F1 comeback seems more possible than ever. The pieces of the puzzle are slowly falling into place. And if he can grab this opportunity with both hands and showcase his undeniable talent, a return to the F1 grid might just be within reach. Ricciardo needs to drive next season and deserves a chance to prove he can be a frontrunner again. As F1 accelerates towards the mid-season break, the elements could be aligning to give him that chance. What do you think about Ricciardo's chances of returning to the F1 grid? Let us know in the comments section below. That will be all for today's video. Thanks for staying tuned. Please don't forget to hit the subscribe button and notification bell so that you can always get to watch more amazing videos like this. See you in the next video.